Hi, this is Stephen Van Kampen-Lewis. It is September 12th, here in the afternoon. The world is starting to cool down a little bit, and things are getting nicer, and we're getting our fall rains, which is nice, and our temperatures have dropped about 20 degrees, which is super nice. And there's a lot of things spiking, a lot of catasetums that are spiking for me right now. And I want to show two of them to y'all today. Both of them are fairly small, young plants on their second blooming. This first one is an unnamed hybrid that I got from Fred Clarke, I don't know, maybe like a year ago or something, and it's Tenebrosum by Colossum. You can see the name tag right there. And I did show this one earlier in the year, and it had a first bloom, and now it's on its second bloom of the year. This is probably one of my favorite hybrids at this point. Just such a cool looking flower. You can really see the callosum really came out, but just that vibrant green in the lip, and then the dark petals and sepals, and sort of that open stellate flower shape, or not even stellate, which is kind of star shaped. It's very pointy. See if I can get a zoom in there of one of the flowers, and you can see those pollen triggers right there that kind of look like fangs hanging down. And again, this one bloomed, so it's a relatively, it's a medium-sized catasetum. I don't know how much bigger it'll get. I've never grown callosum before, but I know that Tenebrosum gets very, very large. So the fact that this is blooming on such a small plant and it looks so much like callosum, I think it took after a lot of that particular parent rather than the Tenebrosum. But the Tenebrosum, of course, is a very, very dark flower itself. So you get a couple of dark flowers like this, and you get, surprise, surprise, a dark flower. But yeah, you can see it's doing really nicely. Check out those roots. PET method. Seriously, it's the best way to grow catasetums. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this one. It smells great. It's got that sort of minty catasetum flavor scent, or catasetum scent that a lot of these guys have. And of course, I grow it next to all my other ones, so hot, bright, lots of water. There's water in this part at all times, and the roots are wet for basically the whole growing season, from the day I start watering till the day I stop watering in November or December, or slow down on watering, I guess. The second one is, this is a little miniature. This is also its second blooming. This is matogrossense. I got this from Bella Vista, or BV Orchids, a couple years ago. In fact, the tag is still on it, showing that I got it for $7. Some of these imports, you're gonna get really weird, cool stuff for really cheap, and BV Orchids has just some of the best plants around. They're gonna come in small, but small plants, of course, get bigger. So you can see that this is kind of a bird shape almost. It's like a bird flying away. That shape is very reminiscent of gongoras, and there's just a lot of platantheras. There's this shape is super common in the orchid family, and is just repeated amongst different genera over and over again. It just must be a particularly successful flower shape. It's nothing. There's no amazing colors. It's all very subtle, but it's a cool little plant. And this is probably mostly as big as it's gonna get. It bloomed last year, so it's a small statured catasetum. So if you're space constrained and you can actually find one of these, which is not easy in and of itself, I highly recommend it. I can't really detect any scent but and these are the male flowers. So as many of you know, the Catasetums will have male and female flowers, and the female flowers are these sort of non-resupinate hooded things, and this is a non-resupinate hooded flower, but this is the male. There are pollen triggers in there. Let's see if you can see. Is it focusing? There we go. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, a really cool little one. Like I said, that is pretty difficult to find here in the United States, and if you can find one, I would snap it up. And you can see that the pollinator would go into this little hood, rummage around, get stuck with some pollen, and then fly off to a female flower with a similar look. You can see this is what the buds look like as they're opening, and this one is still pretty tightly wound up. But again, PET method. This has water in it all the time. This is matogrossense from Bella Vista Orchids. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If this was a cool video, hit the like button and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great weekend.